Kenya's President Ruto cancelled the multi-billion-dollar Adani deal meant to redo Kenya's Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, JKIA. The president apparently has also cancelled the Ketraco deal. And you should have seen the members of parliament, man. These guys are clowns, for real. Take a look at this, please.
Because of the information that has been provided to us by partner nations, I have directed agencies within the Ministry of Transport and the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum to immediately cancel the ongoing procurement process for JKI expansion public-private partnership transaction, as well as the recently concluded Ketraco transmission in public partnership.
These are the same guys who gave the president the Adani deal at whatever cost. These are the same guys who gave the president the finance bill. And you all remember that in June, young lives were lost. Rex Masai and all the rest of them were lost because of these kinds of attitudes. And now they are the same clowns applauding, giving the president a standing ovation. For what? The president has egg on his face. And this, honestly, it's good for Kenyans, but the mischief in this is not lost to Kenyans. Why is the president doing that at this point in time? He had refused to listen. Lives were lost. We have seen abductions happen in this country. And we have continued to see the failure to engage Kenyans in any major process that requires public participation. This president has had his way all along. So honestly, the one person who we must celebrate in this is the Kenyan whistleblower, Nelson Amenya.
I've received a lot of threats since the day I exposed this deal.
John, this involves Indian billionaire Gautam Adani and 7 other senior executives indicted by the Justice Department in connection with a scheme to pay hundreds of millions of dollars in bribes to Indian government officials to access solar energy contracts and efforts to conceal bribery schemes from U.S. investors.
Americans have called him out. The Justice Department have found fault and he's been indicted. So clearly, the president of Kenya has egg on his face. And that really must be the reason he's responding right now. I'm a Patikana. He's been busted.
Former Prime Minister Raila Odinga has defended the public-private partnerships by the government, including the proposed takeover of the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport by the Adani Group.
That's right. Now, speaking in Mombasa, Odinga said...
You have a whole former Prime Minister giving a thumbs up to a project that has had serious doubts, never involved Kenyans in the first place. So he is absolutely wrong on this one. And one of his brigades, John Badi, who's now a CS of President Ruto, referred to President Ruto's men as skunks who are never ever going to deliver. But if you really look at what's going on right now, the biggest skunk are actually these ODM MPs who have crossed over to become cabinet secretaries in the regime of President Ruto. Opio and I is even a bigger shock.
The question is, would these emerging reports in any way affect the delivery of this project? We can't tell. The second limb of that question is, could these bribery or corruption claims have a bearing on our own process? To my knowledge, Honorable Chair, there has been no case of corruption or bribery insofar as this PIP of Adani Energy Solutions is concerned. Up to now, up to this very moment.
Listening to Opio and I think the sad thing is that these guys are all about positions. All of them. The whole bunch of them. Both those who are in UDA and the ODM brigades who've joined to become cabinet secretaries for this government. Opio and I believes that no questions should be raised at this moment. And never mind that the Adani JK deal, the Ketraco deal, both these deals have been done behind the backs of Kenyans. And according to Opio and I, despite the nature of awarding this contract, in his mind, he sees nothing wrong with it. And these guys have crossed from the opposition party, where they used to make the loudest noise about what the government was doing wrong, criticizing even this very Adani deal. If you look at the decision that was made, all the countries across the world, any serious government, institutions such as aerodromes, airports, ports, these are strategic resources that have got to be managed by government entities. Whether it is the John F. Kennedy Airport in the US, managed by New York and New Jersey, they take it seriously. This is the entry point into their country. This is the one place that you lose control of, leave it in the hands of a foreigner. It is bound to be a risk factor in terms of security in your country. But now that they have crossed over and have become part of government, they are singing praises to the same government. They hear no evil, see no evil.
And I therefore support, Honorable Speaker.
They have become the very skunk that a former ODM MP, Badi, was referring to as the cabinet secretaries that President Ruto put into office. They have become the biggest skunk.
That I will be a true and faithful counselor to the
that
President.
Are now enabling the government to do as it pleases. Whether it's bills in parliament, whether it's awarding of contracts, they do not care about public participation.
Debate on the Finance Bill 2024 has been ongoing.
And the worst bit is that this coalition of government has come into place after the loss of lives. Young Kenyans from June, Rex Masai, many others, abductions have followed. This is a true case of hear no evil, see no evil. The biggest challenge is that I don't know if this president can be trusted. Many Kenyans do not believe a lot of the things he says. And if he can be so convicted about engaging with another business entity on behalf of the country, and then to be so flippant about it, is baffling. As the first diplomat whose image as a country Kenya relies on, can he really be trusted to make decisions that will impact lives in Kenya positively? To do this just because the Adani empire has been called out in the US is very clear that, this is face saving.
Because of the information that has been provided to us,
this regime has been about one thing: tell a story again and again, and though it's untrue, they'll believe you. But it's now boomeranging on the president.
India's geopolitical clout is immense today, and I don't know why Kenya should have taken such a abrupt decision without consulting the Indian authorities.
Listen, man, if you're here for the first time, you can see the challenge we're having in this country. You may be black diaspora, you may be Kenyan out there who's been gone for the longest time. Those are the realities you're facing in Kenya. And I think some of these stories are also going on in many other African countries. So thank you for watching. Please share your comments, your feelings about this, and help us build the channel, man. We're just shy of 5,000 subscribers. So if you're watching, please like. It does something for the algorithm. Subscribe if you're new, and if you're returning, as usual, much appreciate your input by watching and coming back. This is definitely Afrocentric. Many thanks. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.